There is a level in God that you have not experienced yet. The journey of our lifetimes becomes an intriguing trip when you decide to go on it with Jesus Christ. Daily, he begins to load us with benefits and with blessings that are eternal. We have not seen anything in God yet. Child of God, whatever level you think you have seen in your life becomes your lowest level when you are God, because he is dedicated to bringing more to you. God's obligation to you and I involves the release of constant needs and wants that makes our journey on earth and back to him easier for us. God is bringing more for you and I, and we must engage him in covenants to secure those blessings. God is committed to perpetually blessing his children. Life and time becomes easy when you dwell in the blessings of God. God is bringing you to a place of better blessings, or bringing better blessings to you. But then there is a caveat. You must open your doorways. The Bible said in the book of James chapter 1, verse 17, that every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. Listen to me, child of God. Before you receive the better blessings, one of the very first things you must know is the passage we just read. Every perfect gift comes from God. Not every gift that comes to you is from God, because many times they are not perfect. When God's gift comes to you and you realize that it is the perfect gift, that is the moment the gift translates into the blessing. The perfection of God, what makes the gift into your blessing. And that blessing is what God is bringing your way this season. Just open your doors. The reason why many of us are still on the same level for so many years is because we have refused to grant access to God for the delivery of these blessings. We have agreed that every perfect comes from God. So if you are not seeing the perfection of God in your life, and it's because his blessings have not rested in your life yet. And when you decide to settle down and check for the reasons why, you will be shocked to realize you have been the one locking the doors against your own blessings. God is always ready to bless you. In fact, in his words, there are over 100 times where God promised us that he was bringing us into better blessings. He told us in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 8, says, "And God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that having all sufficiency in all things at all times, you may abound in every good work." This passage is the assurance that God is always in the business of supplying your blessings for our daily existence. The plans of God majorly is focused on making your journey with him less burdensome and less stressful. I told you earlier that he is committed to blessing you, and this passage in Corinthians just told us that in very explicit terms. God is committed and is surely bringing better blessings to you. Open your doorways and let him deliver his promises. The blessings of God are delivered when our preparedness meets God's timing. What do I mean? The blessings of God only arrive in the life of the one who is prepared to accommodate it. No matter the hunger your child is feeling, no matter the appeal of the food you have made for that child, if he or she does not open her mouth to receive that food, that baby will stay hungry and probably get sick from malnutrition. The same way it is with the blessings of God. A child of God can be existing in the atmosphere of the blessings of God and yet not partake in them. You can live in the same apartment and share the same bed with people who are enjoying the blessings of God, and you can still be in perpetual lack and want because you have not prepared yourself to receive that blessing. You have not opened your doorways. In the book of Kings, the Bible records the story of Elijah and the Shunammite woman. The woman was barren, and as Elijah was passing through her town of Shunem, the Bible records in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4, verse 9. And she said to her husband, "Look now, I know that this is a holy man of God, who passes by us regularly. Please, let us make a small upper room on the wall, and let us put a bed for him there, and a table and a chair and a lampstand. So it will be, whenever he comes to us, he can turn in there." The woman and her husband made the doorway to their house wide open for the prophet of God. And if you follow the story to the end, this woman conceived a baby, and a major miracle of the resurrection took place in that house, just because the family opened their doorways to receive God's blessings. Hear me, child of God. God's blessings can come in different ways and manners, and the only way you can be sure not to miss them is to leave your doors wide open to receive him and the blessings he carries. Enlarge your capacity. The same prophet Elijah was passing through another town, and he came across the widowed wife of another prophet in the town, left alone to cater to the well-being of two of her sons in a famine. These boys were taken away as slaves by the debtor to who their late father owed. It was time for heaven to bless this woman, and the prophet was in her city. After she opened her door to the prophet and fed him with the last meal she had, God dropped a blessing on them. Supernatural oil flowed, and they gathered it in jars until there was no jar left. The point of this story comes from 2 Kings, chapter 4, verse 3. Then he said, "Go borrow vessels from everywhere, from all your neighbors' empty vessels. Do not gather just a few. And when you have come in, you shall shut the door behind you and your sons. Then pour it into all those vessels, and set aside the full ones." Hear me, child of God. After you open your doorways to God, you must make adequate arrangements for the blessings of God. The number of jars that were available to that widow and her sons determined the continuity or the flow of the oil, the blessing. Increase your capacity beyond your imagination, because the blessings that God promised us are beyond our imaginations. He took Abraham to the seaside at midnight and made him count the stars. When Abraham could no longer count, God made him a promise in Genesis chapter 22, verse 17. "I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies." When God made this promise to Abraham, he and his wife were still childless and already in their old age. But when he left the presence of the Lord, Abraham went ahead to make preparations for his life in accordance with the promise God has given him. The capacity of God to bring you better and bigger blessings is not in question. The question is, do you have the capacity to carry the blessings? How do you open the doorways of your life to receive blessings? Rid your mind of anything that prevents the presence of God. God cannot bless a heart that is full of hatred, malice, and jealousy, anger, and bitterness. God is a king of light, and his blessings cannot dwell in darkness. Getting rid of all of these negative things from your heart prepares your life for the blessings of God. Synchronize your plans with God. Remember when I said earlier that God is always ready to bring you blessings, but until your preparations meet God's timing, your blessings remain a promise. One of the ways you can open the doorways of your life to receive God's blessing on time and every time is to align your plans with his own. The plans of God are always sure, true, and efficiently trustworthy. What you do for yourself when you align your plans with God is you give Him complete control of your affairs, and so He begins to bless your life as He sees fit. It is like entering into a full care covenant with God, who then begins to bless your life, not just according to His riches and glory, but also according to the timing and needs of your life. Finally, Revelation chapter 3, verse 20. Behold, I am standing at the door, knocking. If your heart is open to hearing my voice and you open the door within, I will come into you and feast with you, and you will feast with me. This is Jesus standing at the door of your heart. The prophet Elijah stepped into the houses of the widow and the woman from Shunem, and untold blessings and miracles followed him into that house and that life. That is the kind of blessings and favor that follows a prophet of God. Now imagine the number of blessings and favor that God carries. God is standing at the door of your heart, and He keeps knocking and waiting for you to let Him in. Imagine the kind of ease and contentment He comes with. God is bringing better blessings your way, and He is standing at your heart. Blessings and favors in hand, waiting for you to grant Him access. I remember how my life was before I met Jesus and accepted Him into my life. Everything was gotten by struggle and pain. I have so many scars from so many victories, and a lot more from my losses. But a day came, and I heeded the knock on the door of my heart, and I let Him in. Hear me. My life has not remained the same. Am I where I should be yet? No. I'm a long way from there. But every day with God has been a plus for me, and I am calling you into the same covenant with Him. Open your doorways today and let God step in to relieve you of those unnecessary stress and bring you into the promise of the blessings, which has been given even before you were born.